I want to give you a tip on how to prepare the dummy before it's covered in fondant, and this will make it easier. What I do is I run warm water and I take my dummy and I use a sand block and I scrape it around, so that way all the lines and any bumps that it has, it will be flat and it will not show on the fondant. So this is very lightly, you don't have to do it too much. And then the edges also, because usually dummies tend to tear the fondant. And on top. And that will make a big difference. And then after you're done, you just dry your dummy. And that's it, it's ready to be covered in fondant. Okay, here I have my dummy, which is the fake cake. I have a board, and I will be using a gold board today. And what I'm going to be doing, I will be gluing the styrofoam on the board. And since it's a fake cake, I can use hot glue or any type of tape. And that's what I'm going to be using today, just to make sure that the styrofoam stays on place when I'm covering the entire cake. So here's my hot glue. I'm just going to place a little bit of hot glue and then place the styrofoam just to keep it on place. That our dummy is glued to the board, I will be using a little bit of Crisco, which is vegetable shortening, to cover my cake, and this will be as a glue for my fondant. When we cover a real cake, we use buttercream, and that will be the glue for our cake. But in this case, since it's a dummy, I will be using Crisco, and that will help for the fondant to stick to the dummy. So here is my whole entire cake cover. Here I have my homemade fondant, because I do make everything from scratch. Fondant, buttercream, cakes, cupcakes, everything. And I will leave a link below on the description box how to make marshmallow fondant. It's very simple, only 3 ingredients, and it's delicious. So I will be using white ice coloring for my fondant, because I do want my fondant to be really white. with the knife, I just cut the extra fondant. I will be doing the same steps that I did for the first dummy with the second tier. I will be using Crisco or vegetable shortening. Cover my cake or my dummy. Remember, this is only to cover dummies. When you use a real cake, it has to be buttercream, and that will serve as glue for your fondant. The Crisco is just for the dummy. And this is what we're using as glue. Now what I need to do is take my first tier, oops, and oops, place it over here, and just put this one over here. And there's my very tall cake. I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be putting a little bit of gold on both cakes, just a little bit on top and then on the sides on both. And I will be using this powder. It's a gold dust and it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. And I also will be mixing that with a little bit of vodka. And I know some people feel funny about using vodka, but this is the way that it dries faster. The powder will dry faster. If you don't feel comfortable, then you can use lemon juice, but I prefer to use the vodka. So I'm going to use a little bit of the powder. Oops. And a little bit goes a long way. Then I will be using this brush for that, which is like this. It will cover more, so it will be faster. And trust me, the vodka will dry. Once it dries, you will not taste it and it will not smell like it. So that's why I feel comfortable using it, and it will evaporate anyway. Okay, let me just cover these. And I'm just gonna go over this one first. And just like this, basically I will be painting this cake by hand, but it will cover faster with this brush. And I'm not looking for a perfect coverage, just very slightly. Now I will be placing this flower that I make. I will leave a link below on how I made this flower using a mold. And this is the final touch. Well, I also will be probably making a cake topper. And I will be placing my flower here. Now that I place my flower, I will be adding a little bit of gold to the flower. And that's it. There you have it. One beautiful wedding cake.